One of Buddha's disciples was walking through a street where he had gone to beg one day. The town's most attractive woman, the prostitute, fell in love with the monk. She came down from her house and invited the monk to live with her. As the rainy season approached, the prostitute suggested, "Why don't you stay with me during the rainy season, since monks must live somewhere? Monks don't travel for 4 months during the rainy season, so you'll have to stay somewhere and find some refuge. Why not with me?" He said, "Perfectly okay. I will just have to ask my master, ask his permission. If he says yes tomorrow morning, I will be present at your door." The prostitute couldn't believe how casually the monk said it, as if there was no problem. "Perfectly fine," he responded. "I have to remain somewhere. I was going to ask someone to provide me shelter for 4 months, and this is a gift from you. I just have to ask my master. It's just a formal request, since that's the way it is. I need to tell him that a certain woman has asked me to remain with her." When the other monks found out, they were naturally envious. It was impossible to bear. They waited because they expected Buddha to say no emphatically. When the monk asked Buddha, Buddha looked at the monk and said, "Perfectly right. You can stay with her." Now others stood up and said, "This is not fair, and do you see the risk? This is a young man, and that woman is almost a magician. Even great kings are trapped by her, and this young man is nearly innocent. She is not interested in giving him shelter. She has become lustful towards his beautiful body, and you say yes?" "You wait," said Buddha. "After 4 months we shall judge who is correct. Let him go and stay with the woman." For the other monks, those 4 months seemed exceedingly long. It was difficult to wait, and they knew Buddha would be proven wrong. 4 months with that woman? She could not leave this monk. She would seduce him. It was certain. After 4 months, the monk returned and touched Buddha's feet. "Now tell the truth. When what happened?" the others demanded. The monk responded by saying, "Just wait a few minutes, because the woman is coming and it will be better to hear it from herself." The woman went to Buddha's feet and sought to be initiated as a disciple of his. Buddha said, "Why?" "I tried to seduce him, but I failed," she admitted. "He enchanted me. He persuaded me to become a sannyasi. I did everything I could think of for 4 months, but he stayed as still as a lotus leaf. I danced naked in front of him while he meditated. This is the first time I have ever failed. For the first time I was impressed by a man, and I have met a man. I had only seen slaves up until this point. They were all great kings, yet they all touched the dust of my feet. This is the first man I've ever seen who stayed as still as a lotus leaf. I tried to provide every conceivable comfort for him. Delicious food, a beautiful place, beautiful clothes, a beautiful bed, but I failed. I was unable to divert his attention, and he used to make fun of me. I'd perform my favorite dances and start throwing away my clothes, looking for some lust to appear in his eyes, but never. "What are you doing?" he'd ask, laughing and giggling, and he would say, "It's too cold. You might catch a cold." He has changed my life. Now I want to be the same as him. Buddha said to his disciples, "If meditation is deep, if awareness is clear, nothing can disturb it. Then everything becomes transitory." The prostitute became one of the enlightened women among Buddha's disciples. In life, become more centered, more aware, and more conscious. Wherever you are, there are no other options. Everything that must occur has to happen within you, and it is entirely under your control. You are not a puppet, and your strings are not in the hands of anyone else. You are a completely free person. If you choose to believe in illusions, you can do so for many lives. If you decide to leave, it only takes a split second. You can be out of all illusions this very moment. We hope this story inspires you to make changes in your life. Thank you for watching.